Guys, good morning. We got to get everything ready here for the live stream or the podcast. So figured throw on a quick live stream with you guys, and we will work on getting everything set up. I like doing these live streams this mornings. Last week's was really good. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get through all of chat, so I apologize for those of you that had questions and I didn't get to them. I really need to do a dedicated YouTube live. Really do these as I'm doing something else, so I'm trying to get something done. But we do the dedicated lives on Rumble and X. We're trying to expand that a little bit more as well. I would share them here on YouTube, but unfortunately we can't due to their rules and regulations. We're not allowed to touch any of the things back here, so it makes it kind of difficult when you're trying to answer questions and do stuff. So that's why we do them on Rumble and X, because we can do a lot of things. How are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you? Hope you're having a good morning. So I'm going to work on cleaning some of the stuff. We'll discuss some of the stuff that we're talking about. We got a handful of stuff. These are some new packages that just came in. We can actually just unbox these super quick before we go any farther. Got in a new Streamlight light. So I use this on my body armor for work, and it's like a 4-way light. So you have blue, red, IR, and white light. So you press that. So you got the blue, and then I think you hold it and it gets brighter. There we go. And then you can rotate. Let me put this box down. And then if you rotate, I believe that's probably IR, there's red and white. So you're able to rotate. So I usually keep these on red just so if we're doing anything at nighttime, I can have that. So I always throw that on my Molly and then just fold it like that. And if I'm not using it, folds up, stays out of the way, and then you can fold it down and use it as a, like if you're reading something, you have documents, you can turn that red on and it doesn't ruin your night vision. So that's nice. We've got the Battlehawk build of the month starting next week, and we're using a folding stock adapter. It's going to be a pistol build, so that one will be exciting. So we got that from Battlehawk Armory. Got some new stuff from Die Free Co. Not really new, just some more. We got their Kung Fu grips. We've been putting those on a lot of builds. I like their Tiger Claw. This new foregrip's really nice. And then you got the grip storage as well. So you're able to throw like batteries or anything else that you want. You can put on there. So I really like those things. We'll check those down. They actually have a brand new thing that just got released. They didn't say I couldn't show you. So if I'm not supposed to show you, it's their fault. They didn't tell me I couldn't. So they got a new knife. This is the Calvin. So that's pretty cool. Their packaging is always so neat. I love their colors, their design, their style is always fun. So a new like defense style knife. So that's pretty cool. I always say like, hey, that's sharp looking, but yeah, no pun intended. I always say that with guns. I'm like, oh, this is a sharp looking gun. But then I say it with knives and I'm like, well, that's silly. All right, let's put that one away. And then we got another box here. So we can set that off to the side. We got some new stuff here. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Okay, just make sure some things weren't showing. So we got Neomag stuff. Really like what Neomag's been doing. Howdy, how we doing? Really good knife. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet knife. This is a Velcro pouch for your holster. So the alias setup, you put that on the back of a holster and it clips in, and then you can put your holster inside this loop. And if you bag carry, you just slap this on a Velcro and you have a really secure way to keep your holster on a bag. So I really like that. So I'm going to be throwing that in the new Vertex setup that I have. Neomag's new logo. What up, man? How we doing? A t-shirt. And then a bunch of stuff from this. So we got the Sentry strap. That's how you keep your slings tidy, which is nice. I'd show you on one of the things on the wall, but unfortunately I can't pull it off because YouTube would kick me out if I did. Here's some more belt receivers for the alias system. The alias system is pretty cool. I have a video here on YouTube. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you because that would take a little while, but if you guys are interested, I have a full video on their alias system. They have this thing that's really neat, which I will show you this part because I think this is cool. So we have something called the beltless receiver for those of you that like to carry in like sweats or the summertime and you don't want to have a belt on. This is called the beltless receiver. So check this thing out. So this flips up. This flips up. Actually, no, it flips this way. No? It flips this way. That's not right. I don't know. Either way, you take these clips. I'll have to figure that out because that doesn't look right. You take these clips, you clip it onto your belt, and this acts as a belt for you. So it keeps that rigidity. You clip your holster into here. You can throw this into sweats or shorts, and now you have a beltless carry setup that you don't have to worry about. And in the summertime, when you don't want to wear a belt like this, I have sweats on. I can throw this on my liner, my sweats, and it keeps that rigidity for me. So it's pretty cool. Can you please bring that snip forward? No clue what that means. Good morning, TA. What's up, man? How you doing? Hope you're having a good time. So yeah, really, really cool little setup from Neomag, the beltless carry setup. So, and then I got a bunch of little more accessories in there from them. So love their stuff. Neomag, I have been using their stuff for years. So originally, the stuff from Neomag is this right here. So this is like the original Neomag, what started the company. So this is a clip that goes in your pocket, and then you can put an extra magazine in there, and it's a magnet that keeps the magazine in place. So if you need an extra mag, you can draw from your pocket. So it's a really cool way to be able to pocket carry. I have a couple different ones. So those of you that like extended mags, here's the extended mag version. So it's just taller. So if your extension sits up higher, it just sits in your pocket well. So pretty cool stuff if you're looking for a way to carry in your pocket. Got a handful of new Wiley X sunglasses that they just released. They sent me 3 other new ones. So I love Wiley X glasses. Let me go grab one. One's in the case. The other one's right out here. Let me grab it. I'll be right back here. Kids are watching. You watching Bluey? Is Bubby sleeping still? They woke up and came into our room to watch some Bluey, and Colson zonked out. So here is one of the new pairs. I love that clear frame look. And you got the metal side there. And then just a really nice like coated lens. Like it's like a greeny blue hue to it. So really nice new glasses from them. So got those. And then we got the so this is a more athletic style. This is the, what do you call it? Jackal. So these are the Jackals. Yeah, they got more of like a baseball style, I would say. So those are pretty cool. Where in heaven is this? This welcome. Welcome to my slice of heaven. And then we got one more, but I'm not sure if it's in the case. So I got this little setup. So what I wanted to do, like my dream was, you know, when you go to like a jewelry store or a sunglasses hut or something, and they have those big like display cases where it's like a glass case and you see all the glasses or all the sunglasses and like the light shine on them. That's what I wanted because I thought that would be really cool, but then I saw how much they were. So I quickly decided I don't want that. So I got this display set up, which is super nice because I can organize all my glasses. That's the wrong one. But it's just nice because I can keep everything organized and stored away and protected, because before I was just putting them in a drawer in my nightstand. And the issue is the kids found the drawer. And if you have kids, you know what happened next. They just like trying on all the stuff. So, which I try to keep these out of kids' hands. So I need to put these in here. I don't think the other ones must be somewhere else. I must have been wearing them. So this is just nice because it just keeps all the glasses stored away. That way I don't have to worry about them being damaged, or I know where everything's at. So if I ever want to put a pair on, I can just open this and see all the different styles. So I really like that. I personally did not think I'd ever have this many sunglasses. I had one pair. So when I first started at the sheriff's office, I was 18. And as a reward, I bought myself a nice pair of sunglasses. So I always bought the like $5 to $7 pair of sunglasses from Walmart because they were cheap and I couldn't afford anything. So I would just buy those, and when one broke, I'd go buy another 5 pair of sunglasses. I still remember the exact style. I could probably go there now and buy that same style because it's the same style my brother got. But I bought my very first pair of Oakleys when I got my job at the sheriff's office because it was like a reward of like, hey, you know, congratulations on having like a real job, because I had like a bunch of jobs. I worked 5 different places. So I worked part-time at 5 different places because I was still in school and everything. So I was just trying to like work as much as possible, but I couldn't work full-time at the places. So I would have to get like part-time hours. So I would just do part-time at 5 different locations. I was doing detailing at a dealership. And then I did EMS. I worked there at a handful of different EMS locations. And then I worked at it wasn't a factory. It was a place that they built products. So I was in a room and I was making these like, I don't know how to explain what they are. It's the curtains at like the Ritz Theater where like they open up the curtains, the rollers that allow them to open, they're like these hooks that roll around and there's like wheels and everything. And they glide back and forth. So I was making those and that was cool because I was in a room by myself and I was just using like a press and being able to build those. So that was fun. And then when I got my full-time job, I got my first pair of sunglasses and I rocked those for 7 years, I think, 5 or 7 years. And it was fantastic. I loved it. You have a very lovely family. God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. We got those put away. Now we got to get the podcast set up. So we can set this here. This is another nice thing here. Look at this. So when they sent over the new sunglasses, I got this bag here from Lilacs. And my favorite part is this little like grenade pouch. It's freaking awesome. So it's got like a spot here to keep a bunch of keys if you want to. Which I thought was neat. But you can keep all your keys in that. But it's just shaped as a grenade, which I think is hilarious. We just saw some Mepro Light. They sent me the new MCO Pro compact red dot, and it is really impressive. So Mepro Light has done a very impressive job over the last couple of years. If you've had their earlier stuff, they had some durability complaints and concerns, I should say. And I would pull them off. I would take it off the wall. I just can't. I can't touch it. It'll kick me off. So that's durability complaints. They fixed a lot of those, and they've got where they need to be. They're making the right steps. They're going in the right direction. I just don't think they're where I want them to be. I want them to be a little bit, I don't know. I don't like the footprint. I wish the footprint was different. I wish they would have just taken like the Acro or something. But I think they're close. They're getting really, really close. They've got a good design. The rifle stuff, the rifle red dots, I really like. I love the, what are you called? You got the True Vision and then the MPO, maybe? No, what are you called? I can't remember. It's the one on the BRN. The one that has the is it the True Vision? No, it's not the True Vision. I don't remember, but it's got the tritium or the fiber optic, so you don't have to have a battery, but then you can put the battery shroud on it, and then you can change it with the diopter, the polarizer and stuff. I like that one a lot. I think that's a really good optic. So I've been using that a ton. So big fan of that. And what they're coming out here with the LPVOs, I'm really excited about. ATF might think you have a grenade. It might. You never know. Would you consider the BRN Gen 3 to be duty grade, or is it too early to tell? I think everything they changed is going in that direction to where it is ready based off of what I see. But I'd have to put even more rounds through it to be able to tell. And 300 blackout is extremely expensive, so it's hard to put 1,000 rounds of 300 blackout because you're spending $1,500 to do it. They are definitely they changed it from before. I said I wouldn't use it as like a duty setup because of some of the concerns I had, and then they changed those things, and now it has the ability to do it. Everything's there to be a setup for that kind of stuff. Thank you for your input. Absolutely, you're welcome. Where's your AP53 at? First range day with mine today. Hopefully you like it. Let me know how it goes. Explain the G-Flex triggers. Are they worth buying? I'd have to look up what the G-Flex are. I don't think I have a G-Flex trigger. My problem actually is the fact that I just can't remember half the names of all the stuff that's out there. Like, I used to be really, really good at it and memorizing stuff, but the more stuff I've gotten and the more stuff I've had to review, the less I remember. So like when someone says like, oh, how's how's the T7 4 trigger or the SD4? Like, it's like, I don't I would have to see it. Once I could see it, then I'm like, oh, okay, I remember that. Because the problem is you got companies like HoloSun that are like naming their stuff like 515, 407, 408, like, and then you have to like try to memorize every single one of those gosh dang optics, and then they switch it up on you and start throwing EPS and SRS and all these other things. So they really threw me for a loop doing that crap. So I would be lying if I said I knew all the names of all the stuff. I'd have to see a picture of it. CZ75, TS2, Racing Green, your opinion. CZ makes incredible stuff. I have a TS2 right there, and it's a great gun, incredible. It is not a gun I go out with nearly enough, and it's not a gun that I ever can still carry or anything. But if you're looking for like a good competition gun or like a sweet range gun, that is a fantastic option. I'm actually getting the PO1, I believe it is, the 75 PO1. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the one I'm getting here next month. I'm going to pick that up from Brownells. So here is the new podcast setup. If you guys haven't seen it, this is the new Condition 1 case. These things are super cool. It just gives me the security, the safety, and the fact that it has wheels and a handle here I can open up, which is really cool. One second. Excuse me, I need to respond to my wife. She sent me a text. I just want to respond to her real quick. I just bought the Racing Green. It's pretty nice. No, it is. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love CZ. CZ, like the Dan Wesson and CZ collaboration, super cool. The CZ Shadow Compact 2 over there, super nice. I think they needed to add a decocker, but that's just my opinion. But no, what CZ is doing, and like what they're coming up here. Well, we had a meeting with them at SHOT Show, and we're going to be, I can't really probably say too much. They're releasing something new here. We're going to be a part of it. So I will have a first looks video dropping soon on that. So I'm pretty excited. Do you have a Mosin Nagant? I don't. That's a weird one that I don't have. Like, why don't I have one of those? That's a really good question. I need to find one and just go and get one and add to the collection. There's some guns I think you just have to have, like the SKS. This is like a gun that like I think you should have in a room like this. And I don't have a Mosin. I need to change that. I need a Grand too. I don't have any more Grand. I have a couple different like older styles like that around that era, but I don't have the Grand. So here's what's dope about this thing. Check this out. So everything's organized in different panels. So you can move these over, and I have all my cables, all my other cables, all the microphones, the A10 Mini, the mixer, like everything has its own little spot. You got the camera and everything. Ooh, I actually need to check the battery. Let's make sure that's actually charged. So last week we had an issue because the battery wasn't charged. It was charged, but the camera was left on, so it was just running the whole time. And by the time we went to film, it was dead. So we had to push the pod back for like a really long time. So it's super annoying. So we don't want to do that again. So it should be charged because I usually don't put it back into the camera unless it's fully charged. So we should be good, but we'll throw it back on just for the sake of we filmed it, so they can't blame me that I didn't do it. So let's get this podcast set up. We are kind of running on a short time frame because Kayla and I are going out to celebrate. She quit her job this week. She's staying home full-time homemaker, and she's going to be homeschooling our kids, and we're incredibly thankful. God has blessed our family so much. This has been a dream come true. We prayed a ton about this, and this is what we wanted for our family, and she finally did it. So it was something we wanted to do a while ago. We couldn't make that step happen, and then we were going to do it right at the beginning of the year, but then some stuff happened as well. So then she finally did it last week. So that's super exciting. Actually, this week was her last day. Wednesday was her very last day at work. So we're really excited about it, and it is fully charged. Fantastic. But God has absolutely provided for the fact that we can do that now, and I could not be more thankful. So extremely excited. So we're going to be going out and celebrating her leaving and staying home. And I think that's really, really good for our family. So it's one of the best things as a husband and a man and a father you can do for your family is provide that for your children. I obviously, unfortunately, in the economy right now, it's very difficult to not have a two-income family. We did it for years. We've been together for over 8 years, and we did it the whole time. So definitely something I always recommend to people. If you have the ability, definitely try to do that. Let me see here. I picked up the Noctum F at SHOT Show, and I really liked how it felt. I think it's going to be my next buy, my first CZ. Awesome. Good morning. I'm inspired to have a gun room stocked like this. Absolutely, man. Check out my YouTube video I just posted going over the room and how you can set it up this way and how you can save a bunch of money as well if you're interested. I wish you great success. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Did all this cost you over or under 1.5 MIO? No clue what that is. Can I take... Yeah, over 12 years. Yeah, no, we've been together for over 12 years. We've been together for 12 years. We've been married for shorter than that. But yeah, we've been together for 12 years. And, yeah, no, unfortunately nowadays, dual income is kind of the tradition. That's what a lot of people are doing. I don't think that's the way that God structured it. It shouldn't be that way. It stinks that a lot of families are put in that situation. You know, like I said, we were put in that situation for years, and you know, we had kids, so we had to make sure we were providing for them and getting our life ready. So it stinks that you're put in that situation. But if at all possible, it's a life change. You know, it's a lifestyle change is the best way to put it. You know, you're gonna have to change the way you do things. You're gonna have to change the way you spend money, and but it's so worth it. So worth it. I can tell you that. Not easy, definitely something. But one of the biggest things I was looking at is like, okay, well, like we do YouTube TV because we really like sports. YouTube TV just jumped up to like $90 a month. Okay, well, that's $90 a month. You don't actually have to spend. You can then get rid of your YouTube TV. So that saves you $90 a month. And you can find a million other things that you do monthly that you could absolutely not have to spend, and you would save a ton of money every month. So again, it is possible. People always use the cop out of like, oh, we can't do that. We can't financially afford that. You can. You just don't want to make the financial adjustments and change your lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you guys want, that's okay. But people use that excuse of we can't do that because we can't afford it. You can. It's just a lifestyle change. It's just you don't want to afford it, which again is okay if that is the lifestyle you choose. It's not for everyone. I don't think homeschooling's for every kid. I think that it's a great option, and I love that it's an option, and I love that it's getting easier. But I think some families, it's just not feasible. It's not possible to do it. So, and that's completely okay. But being a part of your kid's life is one of the most important things you can do. I don't want somebody else to raise my children. And with the school system the way it is, you know, 8 hours a day, your kid is gone, and then they do sports and homework and everything else. And at what point do you get to have an influence on your child? And that is not the life that I want. I want to have the most influence on my child. You know, whatever capacity that looks like. But that is just a random tangent. For those of you looking for a really good device to be able to put all your wires and stuff in, this is a J5 Create board here, and you have all your extra cables, your HDMIs, USBs, USB-Cs, and then you plug it in here and it charges your computer. So when you're doing like a podcast, and is what we set this up for, it charges the computer while also being able to stream outside of it. So it's pretty cool, and something that I found that I really, really like. Let me go through some of these chats real quick because we're missing a ton of them. Can you show me that Glock? I unfortunately cannot show you guys any of the things on the walls. If you guys would like to see more stuff, go to the YouTube or Rumble and the Rumble X live stream that we do, which is today, and I'll be able to pull everything off. But we can't talk. We can't pull anything off the walls here on YouTube. It doesn't let me. It'll kick me off. What's your favorite gun on the wall? My dream gun is right there. P90. I've always wanted it, and it finally made it happen last year. So super excited. Do I have sports guns? As in competition guns? I have some styles like that. Feel like disclosing your current EDC? I carry a couple of them. I'd show you, but again, I can't hear on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in seeing the stuff, like me pulling it off and showing you every part and piece and why I picked them all, come to Rumble when I do the live streams there, or X. It's a Glock 45 with a Radian Ramjet and a EPS with a Radiant Guardian. How do you afford all this? complete transparency, so you guys are completely aware. I always want to be transparent with you guys because I don't ever want anyone to think that like this is a financial decision that I think is smart. I work with a lot of great companies. I pre-release test guns for a lot of companies. So what that means is a lot of companies will send me these and for me to like test, review, and give my opinion on. And then a lot of those are before they get released to see if they want to make any adaptations or changes or fixes. And then it's mine. So that is how a lot of these have gotten here. I started this journey well before I started doing testing and review and all that stuff, and I had a handful of them. You know, I had a passion for it. My dad always was into it, so it got me into it. He gave me some to start out with, and then I started my own journey, and it just grows from there. You know, this has been probably about 6 years of serious growth. You know, I kind of dabbled in it, but then when I seriously got into it, that's when I grow a lot faster. So you imagine how many guns get released a year? A lot of them. I don't work with all those companies, but companies like Smith & Wesson, CZ, who else? PSA, just a handful of different brands. I don't know why I can't. Springfield, Shallotech, Walther. You know, a handful of different brands. So when they release a new gun, it comes into me. So you got to think a handful of those come from that. And then every month, if I buy one myself, then that adds 12 to 15 to 20 a year. And then they send me some on top of that. So that's another 10, 20, 15. So it just adds up pretty quickly in that sense. But yeah, I did a video on this on YouTube, so you might not have seen this, but I don't recommend having a collection like this. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it financially makes sense. If you have like dumb money and you don't care and you're just buying stuff, this doesn't apply to you. But for those of you that are looking to spend their money in the best way possible, save money, and have nice setups, I recommend you buy a long-range precision setup like this. You buy a AR style platform, like any of the ones down there. I was looking for one showing a little bit better. Then I would say get a really good concealed carry gun, and then like a shotgun for either hunting or like just a nice shotgun for like home defense, like a Benelli or a Genesis or a Beretta, Mossberg. What's the other one? Why can't I think of it? What are you? Remington 870. My goodness, I kept wanting to say Ruger. Get like 3 to 5 guns that have different specific situations. You got a close range, you have a handgun for concealed carry, you have a rifle for medium, you have a precision gun for long. Boom, there you go. You have everything you need. And then from there, start filling in the spots as needed. So then you can get your SPR or your DMR setup that fills that void between the AR and the precision gun. That fills that void. Then you can get like a 10-inch 300 blackout or a 7-inch 300 blackout that fills the void between the pistol and the AR, and then get a nicer shotgun or a hunting shotgun or an AK for a different platform, a lever gun, and then you could really fill the voids from there. But it just makes sense to spend in that fashion, and then you can accessorize them better, and then you can accessorize. What a silly way. It makes me sound like we're talking about like jewelry or something. You can accessorize them better, as in get better flashlights, optics, slings, and then you can get the ammo and the training dedicated to making yourself extremely proficient and deadly with those platforms. So again, don't recommend doing all this. If you can and you financially are able to, do whatever you want. This doesn't apply to you. But I don't want anyone to think that this is like what I recommend. Like, I have this because of the work that I do and the fact that I just review guns. So I got to have somewhere to put everything. So we were able to make this, and it was really, really cool, and extremely blessed to have this. So super happy about it. But I don't want people to think that this is like what you should strive for. I want you to strive for having the really nice setups and being prepared and set up with those as well as possible. I would rather you have one Glock 19 with a red dot on top, and you shoot every week and you put thousands of rounds through that thing and get really proficient with it, instead of you having a Glock, an Echelon, a 1911, Ruger Mark IV that's really tricked out because it's cool. You have 4 really cool guns that are just fun, or you have one gun that you're extremely proficient with. I would always choose the one gun that you're extremely proficient with. Always go that way. You're going to spend your money in the best way possible. And then when you get proficient with it and you're comfortable with that, then start getting the fun stuff. Then start getting a second AR-15 or a AK to change it up, or a Hellion bullpup or an X95 bullpup because they're really cool. Then you start expanding and just having fun with it. So I show off a bunch of stuff on my platform because I think it's cool, and I get these guns in I think you guys would be interested in, but it's not that like I want you guys to spend your money in a horrible way possible. Do you own a Springfield Prodigy? Yes, I own 2 of them. So I got the full size, and then I've got the compact on this wall over here. I'm going to go back up here because I missed a bunch. You like long range? Yes, I like long range. That is my work rifle there, and then I have a training 22 long rifle there. Then I have a handful of other ones on this wall over here. I'm building a couple new ones. Precision guns. Yes, I like long range. Long range is sweet. No, like they just make a sound like a real one. I'm not sure what that means. I'm definitely teaming with you in the zombie apocalypse. There you go. Dude, could I get an Alpha AK series? Handguard off you. Close mouse don't get fed. It's dope. Do you remember who was the first company that gave you a shot? The first company, I'll never forget this, that gave me a shot. It's an incredibly good question. So I had a handful of companies back in the day. So Instagram was a very different thing. Instagram was just a really different animal than what it is today. So before, you just took pictures, and like YouTube and social media and marketing was not what it is today. So marketing now, a lot of marketing agencies just go through people that do YouTube and social media because that's the way people digest their content. Instead of reading a magazine or watching the news, our generation doesn't do that. So marketing companies had to quickly change things and be like, okay, why are we spending 30 grand on a magazine read that they're going to throw away? Why don't we spend, 3 grand on a YouTube video, and we can, or take that 30 grand and divvy it up between 10 YouTube videos or 20 YouTube videos. And now we have evergreen content, which means it stays there forever. And now your content can be viewed forever. And YouTube has the ability to go viral, which means at any given point, that video can absolutely blow up and get millions and millions of views, and you spent way less money. Now, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes, okay, that content doesn't get viewed and it doesn't reach out like that. But companies are starting to realize that this is the way. But that is not how it was back in the day when I first started. When I first started, that was never the goal. I didn't really even know what that was. That wasn't even an option. But there was like, basically what you would do is you'd reach out to companies on Instagram and be like, hey man, I got an Instagram channel. I got 700 followers and I take some cool pictures. And then companies would be like, sure, I'll send you a XYZ. It was really a goofy setup the way it worked. But it was kind of the way the platform worked at the time. So this was probably 2017 when I first started. So I had a handful of just random, I don't want to say inexpensive, we'll put it that way, inexpensive accessory companies that would throw me a plastic 3D printed foregrip or something like that. And you'd throw it on a build and you'd be like, this is the coolest thing in the world. The first company that was legitimate that gave me a chance was JagerWorks. And at the time, they were pretty solidified. They had a really cool product. That was back when customizing your Glocks was the coolest thing. If you had a customized Glock, that was the coolest you could be on Instagram. Back when you had the Arc Division comp and the RMR was getting popular because it was the only red dot that was legitimately good on the market at the time. You either had the Trijicon RMR or a Bushnell was your choices. It's crazy to think about how the industry has changed and everything. But I guess what time it is. It's 8 o'clock. Holy cow. It's getting late. Excuse me. So JagerWorks was the very first company that gave me a chance. Gave me a real chance. And I actually still work with them, which is pretty cool to think that this many years, it's still a product I use all the time. I love their slides. I think they're one of the best in the industry that do slide cutting. And it was just neat because they gave me a chance. And I hope that as I've been able to grow, that chance they gave me to originally start was repaid in a sense. They feel like they've gotten okay, he was really a nobody and they gave me some really cool stuff. Because there's back in the day, man, I think it was I got like a slide for like $575, which at the time, I mean, back in the day, that's crazy. Like if you spent that much money on a Glock, because your Glock was already $500, and if you doubled that just for your slide, like that was like the epitome of the cool. Like you had the coolest setup in the world if you had that. Like it was always the guys that posted like the Jaegerworks slides and stuff were like so cool on Instagram. I remember when they teased their new slide and gun that they were gonna make, and they never ended up making that. But the Architect, I think it was what it was called. It was super cool. But yeah, Jaegerworks was the first company. I hope that I've been able to repay that, because now that my channel is bigger and I've been able to grow to this point, that investment probably worked out for them. I hope, I hope so, because they really took a chance on me, and that was super cool of them. The next really big company that I still to this day have no clue why they ever took a chance on me was Brownells. Brownells, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, Brownells changed my life. If you look at my channel pre-Brownells and after Brownells, you see where the channel started to significantly change and grow. And I cannot thank them enough for that. They changed my life forever. And I'm incredibly appreciative for that. So Brownells was one of the biggest that ever gave me that chance and helped things turn into what it is today. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I'd be. I mean, I'd still be probably doing this, but it would not be to the level I am right now. I would not have all of this. I can promise that. So huge shout out to Brownells. They gave me a chance, and I really appreciate them for that. So they've been incredible. And the best thing about that is I was a customer of Brownells for years, for a long time. As long as I can remember, I've been a customer of Brownells. So like, it's one of those relationships where it's like, it's easy because I already love it. I love everything about the company. I loved everything they were doing. I loved their website. And then to be able to work with them after that is just incredibly cool. What all do you need to start working in a shop? What kind of shop are you asking? One thing about guns is they hold their value really well. So isn't buying as much as converting your money into something cooler that keeps the value better than paper rectangles. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. So just investing your money in different items. That's why people invest into gold, watches, jewelry, firearms. There's a lot of things you can invest in. Some people invest in cars in the sense they flip them. I used to do that back when I was younger. I would flip cars. I would buy an old car. I would clean it, fix it, drive it for a while, flip it, and make money. It's just investing your money in different ways if you want to. You're very knowledgeable. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do you feel about the 5.7 from Smith & Wesson? I think it's a good caliber. It's good to have options. I wouldn't get the 5.7 if you're like starting out, because stay with one caliber for as much as you can. No reason to buy more calibers. They're extremely expensive. 5.7 is a good round, but if you're looking for a new caliber to get into, 5.7 is a good round. What is your preferred AR calibers? 5.56 and 300 blackout, depending which ones you go with. If you only have 5, which would they be? It would be that same setup that I talked about earlier. I don't know if you're in here. It would be a precision gun, so probably that one. It would be my perfect AR setup, which is being finished by Brownells right now. My concealed carry gun, a shotgun, and then the last would probably be like a 22, like a Vakortsen 22. That would be my 5 probably. Best SBR caliber, 300 blackout. Where's the AKs? They're right here. One of them is currently getting some work done. There's also one right there and one up there. Make AKs $350 again. I wish, man. My gosh, that was amazing. Wouldn't that be so nice if guns in general were the price that they used to be? Look at the SKS right over there. Those used to be like $80 at the gun shows, and they could not get rid of them. I remember my dad telling me that he would go to a gun show, and the guys would have crates and crates of SKSs, and they could not get rid of them. Like, they would just stay there forever because nobody wanted them at the time. And nowadays, you get freaking 300, 500, 600 for an SKS. It's ridiculous. My dad always says, he's like, man, if I knew what I knew now, he's like, I would have just bought those entire crates. What an investment that would have been if, obviously hindsight's 2020, but what kind of investment that would have been if you would have just been able to buy all those crates and hold those guns for a couple years. But he also could have bought all those crates, and then 10 years later, they become absolutely worthless. So you never know. Luckily with firearms, though, the value, there is a floor. You know, it's never just going to depreciate to the point of absolutely nothing, which is pretty cool. So that's the fortunate thing about, you know, when you're getting into firearms. All right, we got probably like 5 more minutes here, maybe not even that. How much did it cost to build both walls, including the firearms? I don't know. I don't know what the cost would be. This whole room and displays and mounts and everything, the door and everything was probably around 15 grand, maybe 20. How do you feel about Dracos? They're cool. You like USPAs? Yeah, I think they're cool guns. I just had a deal on my telegrams for one of those. So yeah, check out my telegrams if you guys are looking into stuff. What's your take on Diamondback? Diamondback what? The company, like the guns? I'd have to look at which ones you're talking about. Do you think 6 Max is more reliable? I don't know, honestly. I'm not super familiar with 6 Max or 6 Arc. I shoot 308 primarily, and then 6mm Creedmoor is what I've been getting into. So we're going to answer this question, and then we got to get off here because, unfortunately, I see a bunch we're going to miss here, but I got to get off. Serious question. In a day in life, do you feel the risk-reward ratio of females handling firearms is worth it? Or should they just get a couple of lessons in case of an emergency? Very good question. I'm going to broaden this a little bit more and not say just females. We're going to put it in the realm of somebody that's not trained, somebody that doesn't know what's going on, because there are females out there that handle guns better than me and you and all of us combined. It comes down to a training thing. I think why people say females as a general lump sum is because a lot of times the husband, the male, takes that protector role, which it should be. I mean, that's the way it is. But I don't think that a female should just stand by and be like, well, my husband's going to take care of me because my husband is not with me all the time. I'm not with my wife 24/7. So your wife or female or companion or significant other should always take the necessary training to be able to be proficient. I do not think somebody that, let me put it this way. If your wife or a female is like, I don't know anything about guns, I've never used guns before, but like, I feel like a gun's a good equalizer, which it is. It's a great equalizer. You know, if someone's wanting to threaten you and you're a 110-pound female and this is a 200-pound male, you clearly have an advantage, whether you have a weapon or not. That firearm is an equalizer, and that's 100% what it is. And that's great, and it's so cool that we have the ability for someone to get that and be able to level the playing grounds a little bit. But if that female is like, I know nothing about guns, I don't have training, I've never shot one before, but I feel like it's an equalizer and I want to be able to carry one with me, I do not think that female should be carrying a gun. I think it is a liability. I don't think they know anything about the rules and the laws. If they don't know how to use it, if they get into a situation, the chances of them being able to using it proficiently and accurately are probably not well, and they're probably going to cause harm to somebody else before they actually defend themselves. Now, the presence of a firearm can also deter things. So, you know, with them just drawing that from their purse or wherever they have it, would that deter that situation from happening? Maybe. Or does it get to the point where they're like, oh crap. And I've seen some horrible shooting videos where people grab, male and female the same, grab a gun and they just start shooting, and they're shooting all over the place. You know, now where are you? Are you at a mall? Are you at a grocery store? Are you at your house? Where are you sending those rounds at? So this isn't just females. I understand why you said it that way, because females usually take that role of the protected and the male usually take that role of the protector. It's just the way it is. It's not sexist or anything like that. It's just the way I think it's the way it's designed to be, the way it's structured. The males generally take that role. What I will say though is with my wife, and why she carries a gun everywhere she goes, is because she's taken the time to learn about them. She's taken the time to come in here and talk to me about them. She's practiced. She's dry fired. She's taken some classes. She's shot. She's proficient with it. She knows what she's doing. So in that situation, yes, I think females should always have a gun if they can. If they're going to practice and they're going to take the time, I think you would be silly not to have that equalizer with you. I'm not a big guy. I am 5'11", and you can tell I don't weigh 200 pounds. I'm a pretty skinny dude. So even for me, it's an equalizer. You know, if a guy that's 220 that wants to come fight me, he has an advantage. Now, obviously, if you're just getting in a fist fight and it's an argument, I wouldn't throw a gun into the mix of that. But in those situations where someone wants to do harm on me or my family, it is an equalizer, even for someone like me. So in any realm, guy or girl, you should not be carrying a firearm unless you train with it or practice it. If you are a female that just got into guns because you feel like you would be more safe, you're right, you would be more safe. And you would be able to have that equalizer and level the playing ground. But take the time, train, practice, get proficient with it, know what you're doing, because the first thing that's going to go is your dexterity. And when you go to grab that firearm, if you aren't proficient with the safety or the manipulation, or if there's a malfunction because you limp wristed it and knowing to tap rack right away and get back on target, if you aren't familiar with that stuff, you're going to potentially shoot that first round into who knows where, and then after that, your gun's going to malfunction, and you're not going to know how to fix it, and you're going to be freaking out. Now you've introduced a firearm into this problem, which now this person might potentially be able to take, and then it's just a slew of what ifs. But long story short, don't carry a gun unless you don't train with it. That is really where it comes down to. If you don't train, you should not have a gun, and you shouldn't train with it, or you shouldn't be carrying it, because you're going to hurt somebody else. Guns. My entire personality is also guns. Let's just talk guns forever. I love it. That sounds fantastic. All right, I got to hop off here. I appreciate you all. I've got men's group to go to with my brother at church, and then we've got the podcast. So come check out the podcast if you guys want to on Rumble and X. It'll be 10:30 to 11 Eastern, probably close to 11 Eastern time. We'll be starting, so I'd love for you guys to join there. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great weekend.